Pistachio cream is having a moment, and it's all thanks to the viral sensation of the Dubai chocolate bar. I had to know what all the fuss was about, so we're gonna do a taste test first, just to make sure my research is really thorough. It is quite delightful. You do taste like the sweet nuttiness from the pistachio with the chocolate, perfect combination. Why haven't we thought of this? 25 bucks, don't know about that. I'm gonna show you how you can turn the pistachio cream into more than just a Dubai chocolate bar. I've got 3 desserts using pistachio cream that are gonna blow your mind. Now, the stars of the show are the pistachio cream. You can find it from like $6 to like $20. So let's say you bought the $6 one, and then you buy a whole case of the shredded phyllo, known as katafi. So these two combined are less than this one chocolate bar, and we're gonna be able to make multiple desserts out of it. That's the goal today. Starting with the one closest inspired by this, I'm doing a chocolate pistachio baklava, du baklava. Since the chocolate bar contains shredded phyllo dough and baklava's main ingredient is phyllo dough, it makes the most sense. So we're gonna make the most delicious baklava ever. Baklava is actually surprisingly easy to make. It intimidated me for a long time because it looked way more complicated than it is. Greek baklava typically contains walnuts, and then other Middle Eastern versions contain pistachios. We're doing obviously pistachio, and we're gonna elevate the pistachio flavor by using some of the cream. So I'm gonna start by adding pistachios, and then I'm just gonna pulse them until they're finely chopped. I'm gonna take half of this out to incorporate our chocolate like the Dubai chocolate bar. I'm gonna add in some milk chocolate into the food processor, pulse that until it's finely incorporated. Beautiful. All right, the next thing you wanna do, you just wanna have all your layered ingredients ready to go. We need to melt 2 sticks of butter, cover it like that to keep it from splattering. As part of my pistachio layer, obviously, I'm going to use the star of our show today, the pistachio cream. And then to mix with that a little bit of tahini. This is an ingredient in a lot of the chocolate bars. Just microwave that for about 20 seconds just to loosen it up. It'll make it easier to spread in between the layers. Get you a 9x13 and your phyllo dough. Phyllo dough is very delicate. Don't freak out if it cracks and breaks in between the layers. They'll all come together when it bakes. So you want to kind of unfold it, and then you want to have a damp towel ready to keep on top because it dries out like super quickly. Sometimes if it's still too frozen when you unravel it, that's when it breaks. So you do want to try to thaw it out. So I've dampened a couple layers of paper towels, and I like to just kind of keep it over it. Prep is ready, now we just layer. So you've got your melted butter, and you're going to brush the bottom of your 9x13 liberally with butter. And we're gonna put about 8 layers on the bottom. So you just grab a sheet, maybe I'll do 2 sheets, and then butter. Because there was butter on the bottom, it got the bottom sheet. Now I'm gonna go in with another sheet and butter, sheet and butter, sheet and butter. Okay, sheet number 8, going down, and I'm gonna cover the rest while I work with your damp paper towel. Okay, butter that last sheet, and then we're gonna start our layer. First, I'm going to drizzle in about half of our pistachio cream. This is gonna give something that the nuts can adhere to. Sprinkle in half of our pistachio and chocolate mixture. All right, now I'm gonna go in with 4 layers in between. Same deal, put one down, butter it, and you're gonna do that 4 times. Okay, I'm gonna do 4 more sheets, and then 1 more layer. For the top layer, you want to do about 6 to 8 sheets, just till you feel that it's, a nice and secure top layer. You won't quite use a whole package of the phyllo dough. Okay, so now you want to cut it into diamond shapes. So I like to make 3 vertical cuts, just straight down, 1 down the middle, and then 1 on each side. And then you go diagonal to create little diamonds. You're gonna have a couple odd pieces. Those are for the chef. You can make these as big or as small as you want. They're very rich, as you can see, considering we used more than 2 sticks of butter. If you dip your knife in a little bit of butter or spray it with some cooking spray, it'll be easier to cut. All right, so after you cut it, if you have any leftover butter, you can just kind of throw it on in there, just to kind of moisten any dried little bits you might have seen. Then we bake it. 350 degrees. It's gonna take like 45 to 55 minutes. All right, for the syrup, we do a cup. I usually do a little more, so a cup plus 2 tablespoons of water into a saucepan. Add in a cup of sugar. Bring that to a simmer. Once you see that the sugar has dissolved, you can add in the honey, about a half a cup. And then you're gonna bring this mixture to a boil and then reduce it and let it simmer for about 20 minutes. And then you'll just let it sit until that baklava comes out. This is so pretty. And as soon as it comes out, you pour the syrup over the hot baklava. Hear it sizzle, and it just acts as a sponge, and it's like, phew, it's too much. I'm also gonna sprinkle on a little bit of pistachio, a little leftover that we chopped up earlier. Hardest part about this is that you have to wait at least 2 hours because you need all that syrup that we poured on to get like sucked into those layers, okay? The longer you can wait, the better, but I'm gonna make you wait at least 2 hours. Look how beautiful this is. Now, it has not been quite long enough, but I can wait no longer. That like syrupy crystallization that happens, the longer this sits, the better. The perfect bite of pistachio cream Dubai chocolate baklava. Dubaklava. I'm sorry, but that's a cute name. I mean, are those not beautiful? This one bite puts that $25 candy bar to shame. I hate to say it. And we made this whole pan for the same price as you can get one little candy bar. It's crispy, it's buttery, it's like sweet but not too sweet. You get like a little hint of the salt from that nut and the tahini. A+++++. For my next trick, how does pistachio cinnamon rolls sound? Yes, please. And these cinnamon rolls are easy cinnamon rolls because we're not making any dough from scratch, keeping things indulgent by using some puff pastry for our dough. So I'll start by making the filling. I'm gonna use some mascarpone cheese. This is also gonna go in with our frosting at the end. You could just use cream cheese if you don't wanna use this, but it's gonna double for our frosting. So you're gonna get all the bang for your buck. And I'm just keeping things Italian with the pistachios, you know? About a half a cup. A lot of times butter is just your main ingredient in the filling. This is like kind of that, but with a little bit of a richer flavor. And then I'm gonna go in with equal parts brown sugar and white sugar, about a quarter cup of each. 2 tablespoons of cinnamon and a couple tablespoons of melted butter and a pinch of salt. And then just mix that until it's smooth. Look at that. All right, so we're going to unroll. You're gonna use a whole pack, both sheets. And you're just gonna kind of lightly unroll it onto a floured surface. You want this to kind of be a little bit thawed. All right, you just want to lightly roll out your puff pastry just to get it like into a uniform shape. Then we are going to spread half of our mixture on this piece. All right, and then you're going to sprinkle on some pistachios that we have chopped.